All I'm gonna say is that ride right there, wicked. That shit vicious. That fucking ride right there ain't for the weak. Traveling north to south, south to north. Just think about being in a dog kennel for 2 hours.
Let me just say it's an honor to do this interview. I've been going, y'all. I've been going for a while. Let me just say this. I'm finally back. I had to go through a period of learning, growing, lessons, and just growth, right? To really start speaking more on the challenges instead of just jumping to the success, because that's often what we see is just the success and not seeing the behind the scene of the struggle, the tears, you're transforming, you're leaving the old person and merging into the new person.
Right.
And that's not easy. So today we're doing this, but I'm gonna fill y'all in on that as time goes on. But today it feels good to do this interview. And I want you to introduce yourself to the people, to the top tier crew, to the top tier people.
Top tier image.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, my name is Rodjoun Caver, but mostly everybody call me Mud. From Plainfield, New Jersey. We a little bit about my background is I grew up in the projects. One of the most notorious sections from our town, just based off of, gang activity, drugs, whatever, whatever you could think of, that's what that area, is known for. And I just became a product of, what I had to come outside and see every day, and then it dates back to so many different things. I got 5 sisters, 2 brothers, living in a single parent home, in those projects, so we already know what those dynamics is like, growing up like that. But my
In a
father,
single parent household?
right, yeah,
Mom?
yes,
Okay.
but
Okay.
my father was president.
He was president?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was president. He did what he could.
Okay.
But when you have someone who grows up inside of a certain environment and you're constantly coming outside and seeing what you're seeing, it doesn't really, have an effect on you what anybody else is seeing at the time, because what you perceive and what you're gravitating to ultimately is going to win that tug of war, because my father was around, but what I had to see every single day.
Correct.
When the times he wasn't around. And so yeah, I come from that area.
So take me through your childhood growing up. Your childhood. What was that like? And you could start from whatever age. Like, what is like the fondest memories of your childhood? And then we just gonna go from there.
Yeah, well, growing up in the, because we moved around a little bit, as much as I can remember, we moved around a little bit. But as far as once we landed into the projects, that's when my memory, my recollect of like day to day things started to become vivid. So growing up, in those projects, that's where the most vivid sessions became. In my mind, became more vivid. So growing up, people won't believe it, but I used to get bullied.
You got bullied growing up?
Yeah.
What age? What age was that?
Like 8, 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what type of I think we all got bullied in some way. But speaking on you saying you got bullied, what did that do to you? Like, how did that affect you growing up?
Well, my mom was real tough and stern. She had to be. My mom was small, so she was real stern because I was the oldest boy before my brother came.
Okay.
So I was the only boy. So
and your sisters were older?
Yeah, I have 2 older sisters. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was the oldest boy. So growing up in the projects, like late '80s, early '90s, it was rough. it was rough. It was that those projects had a reputation, and that reputation for the individual that was above us wanted to instill things in us. So you had to go through your obstacle course. You know, you had to come outside. You had to come outside and play. You wanted to play,
Right.
so you had to come outside, and that was the test. That was the test to like it's like a big brother almost.
Yeah.
But that's what the streets was like. It's like you getting bullied, you getting beat on. Like, I had to go to the store, and our corner store that's where the traffic was at.
Right.
So, sometimes coming back around, it was rough hitting that corner and seeing all of them there. I was like, I knew what time it was. But I never ran.
Why should we? We ain't no runners, right?
You can't like the bully, he gonna continue. They gonna continue to do what they gonna do.
Continue to do what they need to do.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Even growing up, and like I said, we all have been bullied. Even if we wasn't bullied in the outside, we was bullied in our homes.
Yeah.
Right?
True too,
so I think what I've learned is when you stand up to them bullies, how you feel, whether you getting your ass kicked or not after that.
Right.
Like whether they gonna drag you or not, you stood up for yourself. And that's like the biggest lessons. Even when I tell my children, like, stand up for yourself. Even to this day, I'm not gonna allow not one person to tell me what I am and tell me what I'm not. Absolutely. Like, I don't care. I stand what? How tall are you? We was talking about this. Like, how tall are you?
6'1".
And I feel like I'm 6'1". And I feel like I'm 6'1". And right, brother? Because we got his brother here on the side, y'all. You want to wave? You want to wave? You want to wave? So, how tall are you? 5'8", right? I feel like I'm just as big as y'all.
Right.
Because I'm never going to allow anyone to bully me because I'm sure of who I am. Now, growing up as a child, of course, I'm like, it's more timid. Who want to take that ass whooping?
That would be the whole thing. You think so much about the ass
but check this out. Notice, those are the ones that be whooping ass. Because when you fighting out of fear, they killing it. But I get it. Okay, so you were bullied. You grew up in the projects. But the projects had the most fun. My mother ain't want me on that side. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, I was the girl that snuck on the West End. And when I got there, they was like, Tiff, what you doing around here? Like, Tiff, what you doing around here? It was great to me. Y'all, everybody was frying chicken, going in people's houses, looking fly. I was into fashion. So to me, that was where it was lit.
It was. The projects is a city inside of its own city. Like, you don't gotta go nowhere for nothing. Everything is right there. And so when you it's a community. That's why I love my community so much from what it used to be, because it was real. It was real family based out there. Like, I think any projects worldwide have this same mold code ethic. Like, we ain't letting you get beat up. Like, we may not see eye to eye, but we're not gonna let you get beat up. Like, if I see you hurting, no matter what feud you got with that girl over there, we all hurting around here. What you need?
Right.
Here, I got this. Look at it. We look after each other children out there. We grow up.
Everybody because they always say it takes a village to raise a child, right? So that is the village, but it was always lit over there.
It was crazy, man. It was
like, what year would you give that? What year? Because I ain't going over there now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it real. What year was that? We was all in high school. That had to
2003,
be like
2, 1, 2000.
Right, lit. I used to sneak away. My mother used to be like, "Where you at?" But she was looking at it more so like safety. I was looking like the suburbs ain't it. Like, I'm not with it. They over there frying chicken.
You funny.
And we lit over there. Like, for real. I couldn't understand. Like, we're having a great time on the West End.
Yeah. The West End was definitely different from the East End. And there's nothing wrong with the East End, because, shout out to the East End.
Right.
Because,
right. Maxon. Don't start no problem. Right? With Maxon and Hubbard. Anybody that know, anybody from Plainfield, everybody know. You want to start an argument?
What school you went to?
Wait, you want to start an argument? Say Maxon or Hubbard was better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But take me to when you got locked up? What was that day like? Let's just jump right into it, because I ain't bullshit. We ain't got time to be playing.
That day I got locked up, that day was a progression of so many different things.
Walk me through.
Day of, or
let's start there. Let's talk about what made you want to get into. What did you get locked up for? Let's start there.
I got locked up for first-degree attempt murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. You see how I pause? Wait, you see how I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, first-degree attempt murder.
Okay.
It was pretty harsh on the sentencing. I got railroaded. My lawyer backdoored me. She backdoored me pretty good.
Brother shaking his head.
You know what I'm saying? She stiffed me. You know what I'm saying? She did her thing on me, and I ain't never forget it. But life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And but that's the justice system that we deal with here in America.
Right. Say I can understand why I got put in a position to even get, do this time for this type of crime. Like, did you even take accountability of I placed myself in a situation for them to do this type of bullshit? Or what are you saying to yourself to take accountability for it? Like, instead of...
Well, they was harsh on the penalties because that wasn't my first time.
Okay.
That wasn't my first, you know what I'm saying? Or
rodeo?
Second, first, second, third, fourth. It wasn't. So, I got several violent crimes. And, that one was just one that I guess that was just, I feel like it had to happen. And, me saying this is just me being real upfront and real frank about it. It had to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because everything about that day was supposed to, something was happening, but then it turned around and it just went away.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, I remember I went to work and something was wrong with the car.
You talk about the signs, the synchronicities of things not flowing.
Right. It was just things that was happening that was like, maybe if I would have been like more like in tune with myself more, to where I could understand what was going on, because I would have made certain decisions and
to
just
know that
went with
something's
it.
not right. Or what do
Yeah.
you mean, like when you say more in tune with yourself more? Because somebody might not know it. I know exactly what you mean.
When you a person and you're so spiritually aligned with yourself, you start to see things before it happened. You started to, you got this sense, you got a sixth sense when you spiritually aligned, and you got, you know, it was things happening where today I would have see it and I would be like, something ain't right.
Because you're more spiritually tapped in.
Yeah, today.
Would you say that now?
Yeah, I'm way
Okay,
more.
that's
Yeah,
what you're
I'm
saying.
way more. But if I'd have been then more like tapped into that, I would have seen that happening. I would have seen something about to unfold that day, and I would have
noticed, sat still, something's not right.
Sat still. I wouldn't have, and how it unfolded, whatever. And it was just so many different things that was just saying, like, but it had to happen. And I feel like that was God removing those signs, like, it was just a law having those angels move those things out my way.
Do you believe in synchronicities?
Yeah, I believe in being, yes.
Synchronicities, like how?
Becoming, are we talking about spiritually aligned or just
spiritually
becoming one
aligned?
with?
Because you were saying that if you would have known back then what you know now, you would have known basically to sit still. Because I feel like we all have instincts, right?
Mm-hmm.
The animals are not the only ones with instincts. We all are created with instincts. Now, to me, as humans, we have to be tapped into God to really see stuff the way we're supposed to.
Absolutely.
To certain levels, I don't think we'll fully see it, but you're going to see some signs of either slow down, or don't go that way, or this is danger, be careful. And but it's just, like intuition, being in tune. So what I'm saying is, that day when you got locked up, right, you were basically saying things weren't flowing as smoothly as they should. I just want to make sure everybody's following.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is things was going perfectly. It was a beautiful July 13th day, blue sky, all that. And it was just because most people need to understand the person became and why I did what I did. Like how that person got shot. Like what was your decision that you made? Because ultimately those was a lot of questions. Some people were like you could have walked away. You could have just called the police. You know, so many things you could have did to prevent you from going to 100 and doing
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But you have to know the person that person had to become to get in the space to where subconsciously you thinking about shooting. The first thing.
How you get there? There. Let's talk about the person you had to become. Then.
Well, growing up in the projects, you gotta become something. You
Mhm.
gotta be somebody. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be somebody. Like I got 5 sisters, I got brothers. Like I'm the oldest boy, so it's like, yo, you gonna have to take the torch and be able to provide a way to make them safe.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and then getting out there, moms, you know, you know how the government is at that time, mom on welfare or whatever. And then, certain days ain't what you want it to be. So, you get out there. So now you going to school, you ain't looking how everybody looking, or being up to par. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Or just having the basic necessities or just looking up to par a little bit. So when you see these guys out here, they running, they doing them, they got this on, they got that, and you look at that as admiration, you like, man, like,
You
you know
want
what I'm
it.
saying? We going to school together, but you looking like this off of that.
Mhm.
And I'm knocking on your door like, yo, let me borrow that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And so that became like, you know what?
Did you feel like you had to take the lead role to make things happen on your own? Do you feel like that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That pressure?
Yeah. It was a lot of us. It's 5 sisters. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he came later. Then my other brother came. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you don't want to go to bed hungry at night. Cause that ain't a cool feeling.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't a cool feeling sitting there looking about the window and you know what I'm saying? So you start to get older a little bit
Mhm.
and then you start playing with your friends that's outside and
Right.
some of them have more leeway than me. We both the same age, but they got more leeway and they whipping out money or they feeding you sometime. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I spoke on certain things and certain aspects previously where I spoke about these older guys and how they start to utilize our minds as the youth,
Mhm.
how they infiltrate us and allow us. And they use a certain technique
To draw you in?
to capture your mind at a young age. They know you fucked up.
Mm.
They know you don't got this. They know you don't got that, and they play on that.
Mhm.
They play on that, and they start off with something just little as feeding you.
Feeding you said?
Yeah, like yo, you hungry? Here.
Mm.
Like yo, you need that here.
Yeah.
It's a method to this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people, terminology and methodology when it comes to the culture in the streets is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What they
So, not to cut you off,
Mhm.
but did that make you an angry person, or you just saying like you grew into that to make you, get to the point where
I became that person
that
that will
person,
shoot at
yeah,
the drop
what,
of a dime.
okay, walk me, because I know what that person is. None of us can get it fucked up right now.
Hmm.
Real talk. Like no one. And I want everybody to understand this. We all have a side, good and
Yeah.
bad. So just because you got caught doing your shit, somebody
Right.
else done did they shit too.
Got
And
it.
this is,
Yeah.
I swear, I'm so glad we're doing this because I just want people to stop separating.
Right.
Like no one can
Right.
judge anyone on
Right.
this planet for anything because it's like we're all trying to figure it out.
Right.
Not to mention, people have things that's visible, and then you got people that's doing stuff in secret that's not even getting caught.
Hmm.
Because I don't play that shit. We all got a side,
Yeah. Right.
you know?
Mhm.
So, and it's very easy to get to where what happened to you. You just got to stay in control. Like, that's where balance comes into
Right.
play.
Right.
Like, balance, us not holding on to trauma, us not holding on, because that shit builds up.
Mm. It takes that part of you takes a journey.
Yeah.
You don't want to say, you know, you don't want to use a different term for that because it's a journey. It's everlasting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not just getting to a certain point and saying, okay, well, I'm all healed up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool. Nah, this is a everlasting journey that you gotta keep intact day for day. You gotta always remember day for day. This is how you gotta have your mindset. And
Which is not easy.
no, it ain't.
Yeah, it's not
Not today.
easy.
Not never. I don't think ever. But as a youth, we're not thinking like this
No.
because we're growing and we're seeing things. But today, we're mature enough to see what's going on. We feel a lot of shit that be going on or that been done to us. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
And you start to realize the effect that it has on you as an adult, to purge all of that. Because I tell anybody, you can reinvent yourself as many times as you
Hell
want.
yeah,
Like,
every
don't
single
do that. And
day.
this is something that I'm learning. Like, you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want. But
Yes.
when you got booked and you got behind those bars, what did that feel like? Let's just, because I just want to, you know what I'm saying? I just want to jump into it.
Well,
Like, walk me through that day.
well, I went on a run.
Oh, you was on a run?
Yeah, I went on a run.
How long?
Like a week or two, I think.
What the hell was going through your mind?
On a run ain't it ain't what it's hyped up to be. You can't sleep. You're not eating. You can't go nowhere. You gotta lay low. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about like the slightest noise. So it's like you're not at peace, you know, because you constantly think they coming. So you know me, I'm the type of nigga is like I ain't beat to be sitting out here. Even when I had charges, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do and I'm gonna go turn myself in because I want to start this quick as possible rather than stay out here and just collect numerous of charges on top of the one I have. Because I know I'm living wrong.
Yeah.
I'm living in this sinful
When
place.
on the run, where were you? You can't say that.
I was all over.
Wait, hold on. Look at me like, wait, where was you at? Like, but where was you laying your head? Like, did they feed you? Like, what was you doing? Did you have sex? Like, this is the stuff we want to know. Like, can we just, did you get it? Like, brother, come for real. This is what the people want to know.
Yeah, of
like,
course
did
doing,
are you getting as much as you can? Like,
yeah,
how's that gathering? You're gathering?
You're trying to make memories. You know what I'm saying? Like be in prison. So, you want to, but it's not peaceful. It's not peaceful because you bouncing from place to place and you trying to, find the most, like, that's just serenity. You trying to find somewhere that's just quiet, low, chill, where you can have time to think.
But you can't sleep.
No. So you spend a lot of your time thinking about, and especially me, I'm a single parent. So I know that I was leaving a 6-year-old boy behind. So, in my mind, I'm just always out thinking. And then the times that I was around him when I was on the run, it was like he don't know what his life about to end up at.
Yeah.
About to be, a motherless child and now a fatherless child. He don't even know the direction that he about to go in. I do. I know exactly what direction he was gonna go in. So that played on my mind every day. I'm like, he about to grow up just like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He about to become a second version of me, probably a 2.0. And that's all I thought about, even when I turned myself in. But I had to get that out of my mind because I knew that like this can't be a prison sentence for me. I can't allow that shit to lock me down like that. Because a prison sentence is I have to go in here and be the roughest, the toughest, like zero tolerance. That's a prison sentence to me. Because that's what you going there around a bunch of niggas, you know what I'm saying? North, south, and everybody in between. It's a lot going on. But I knew I couldn't go in there like that. My previous business like that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. But what that day you got locked up? What was going through your head? Like, what does that feel like to get locked up and go behind those bars, knowing you gonna do some time? Like, what is that feeling?
It was real degrading because I know what I'm about to go face. Like when I turn myself in, you know, I turn myself in and you go through the process of getting booked, fingerprinted, Photoshop, stripped naked, you know what I'm saying? Them looking at you while you stripping and them making sure you ain't smuggling nothing into the spot you going in. Then you go in there seeing the nurses, they checking you for AIDS, bacteria, anything that can cause contamination throughout the prison. They checking you for it. But when I've been to jail and prison before, so I know what I'm about to go face. I know I'm about to go to this quarantine unit. I'm gonna be in there with. I don't like using the word bums and
Right, right.
fiends, but
Mhm.
ultimately, this is what's in there.
Yeah.
And when you go on that core team unit, these are the individuals that you're bunked with and paired with. And in my mind, I get into a mode where it's like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you may be put in a room with someone that you may feel is an opposition. These are the things you're thinking about. I'm
Mhm.
going on a tear with somebody that's from the
And
other
you
end.
don't know. So
You
you
don't
don't
know.
know. Oh
So
wow.
it's like you walking in like it's
So that's anxiety.
yeah. But me, it's like I just put all that behind me and be like, whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. I'm just ready to get to this bed so I can go to sleep and wake up and then think about things. Because now you start your peace journey, which sound crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That does
It
sound
sound
crazy. So
crazy.
when you're walking through that, like, are you emotional? Like, are you like shutting down? Like, what's happening emotionally and logically? What's happening?
Well, you when you thinking about, say if you had a woman out there, you got kids and stuff, so you start to think about. I know me. I'm thinking about yeah, I'm about to do, especially for what the charge I got.
Mm-hmm.
I know they about to smoke me
Mm.
because it's not my first time. I'm getting locked up for shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the first time that my
Do
name
you
been
like
brought up.
shooting? I mean, do you want to go to the gun range?
Funny
I
enough.
mean, like, this is not the first. Do you like guns? I mean,
I mean, it's all right in America
it's all
to
right.
to brandish, weapons, but it's just ultimately in our culture is, from the streets, the gang culture is illegally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I do like guns. Everybody does. You know what I'm saying? This is
Mm-mm.
what we got there.
No,
These different
everybody doesn't,
we need
right?
to
But I
protect
think
we need to protect us and our
we
family.
do need to protect us and our
The
family.
way of
But
the
I get
world
what you're
today.
saying. I agree. Honestly, I need someone to teach me because I think it's good for safety
Yes.
purposes for everyone. Right, right, right.
But
Brother, what you say? Say what you said. Exactly.
we living
Yeah,
in different
no.
times, but as far as the culture where we from, this gang culture, like you hear so many people talk about it, but when you see people dying every day and getting shot every day, you're gonna be like, man, I heard Meek Mill say to one reporter, like, you seen 7 people die in a week, you'll carry a gun too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what you hear about it. But to be faced with it and to see it, to be talking to somebody like we talking, and then I'm about to walk to the store, all right, and then that person dead,
Mm-hmm.
like that messes with your mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you see that over and
Over
over
and
and
over. Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
a
what I'm
lot of
saying?
trauma when you think
So
about it.
it's like this is how I have to be. This is how I have to be to survive out here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you gonna get out there into the street, in my mind is you gonna have to be the worst type of person
Mm-hmm.
so you can survive.
Getting back to what you were saying about detaching, I guess that's what you were saying when you have a relationship going into it. Were you in a relationship when you got locked up?
Yeah, I was in a relationship before I got locked up. It was for a little minute, and
The relationship was for a minute.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was. God is great, and I'm telling you, He is, because when you find yourself effing up and you ain't praying, you ain't asking God for help, you're gonna keep chewing on all this bad stuff because you haven't found the time to become in sync with the higher creator,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, around that time, things just kept getting worse. Before it led up to me shooting him, things just kept getting worse, kept getting worse. I got caught doing this, these arguments here, I'm doing this. And some people were like, that's crazy. You're in an environment where this type of stuff go on.
Yeah.
You should have known that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You think in your mind this could happen, but in the moment, you're not thinking of that. Like where you grew up at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where anybody grow up at, anything, people in the grocery store is not thinking that this is going to happen here. But some may be like, you never know today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be on point.
Yeah.
And then, nothing happened today. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes things happen, and ultimately, I got shot in my leg. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't much. Healed up
Right.
from it. That was good.
Yeah, God is good.
Because when you're doing wrong, ultimately you keep on doing wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like you was doing wrong?
I was doing a lot of wrong because
Okay.
it was like and I'm being transparent about this is possible because I believe like that being transparent open up so many different doors for yourself. So it's like being getting shot ultimately led me down this path to where as though the opioid addiction.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what that was because I wasn't doing it. But until I got shot in my shin, that
When you got shot, and then you
yeah,
got addicted to
yeah,
that, and then your body started craving it.
yeah. It was for it was for the leg shot at first, and then a couple months later I got shot again in the same leg. So then it became like taking it for the pain, and ultimately it became taking it just to zone out and away from what was going on in my life was like. Seeing my friends getting killed, shootings, me, whatever I was involved in, you know, it was real. It was real 2009, around that time. It was real. You know what I'm saying? People was popping up and dropping, frequently, throughout the town. And I ultimately just kept on going, kept on going. So I say God is good because I kept doing wrong. Like I'm taking these pills, all the shootouts that's happening, all the murders that's happening. I'm doing her wrong, and I'm not living up to my full potential as far as like being a father to my kid because I'm so caught up in what's going on. So after so once I got locked up, I knew like, yo, God is good. Like this ain't a prison sentence. This is an educational journey for me. This is where I'm about to. This is where I'm about to detach, level up, and do whatever I got to do not to come out of here because I don't know how much time I'm about to get now.
Yeah.
So that was that, and that's where the whole transformation came at once I got in there.
Yeah. Was that painful to detach from the person you was in a relationship with? Was that like hard for you?
Well, I kind of knew what was gonna happen because of how I was living. I was just mentally trying to prepare myself for what was ultimately gonna come. I had to leave my son out there. The prison system was great. The prison sentence that they was gonna give me was gonna be crazy. I knew it was gonna be 10 or more.
Right.
So
what was going through your head about your son? Let's go there. Like, what was going through your head about your baby? Like that had to hit a jab. Like
every day, like every day, just sitting up there thinking about like, yo, he about to become like me. I don't know how bad he gonna be, and I don't know, but I know he's gonna end up like me. And but I had to get that shit out of my mind. I had to.
Yeah.
Because prison, you're in bondage, really. Like you're secluded away
Not
from the
only a
world.
physical bondage, but
Right.
mental, right?
Right.
Okay.
But you gotta figure out what to do with your mind. Because it's a book that I read, Akbar, and he always speaks about, saying no matter what you may be in, they may have your body, but you still got your mind. And that's where I learned about astrophysics, remote viewing, and that's how I became so attached and so locked in with that part. Because when you locked up by yourself in solitary confinement for so long, you start seeing yourself in other places or seeing yourself in
illusions.
Yeah, seeing yourself in spaces and places and having things that you never had before in your life. But that's why they say it started with that creative mind. And, that's all a part of remote viewing, really. You know what I'm saying? How far could you take your mind or see yourself somewhere that you ain't? Put yourself in a space where you could see yourself being this. So that's
manifesting.
Manifestation, yeah, absolutely. That's it.
Manifesting. Thank you, brother. Manifesting. So you did a lot of manifesting in there. You did a lot of praying, I guess, right? You did a lot of stripping, detaching. What I do like is you made the decision to detach and to elevate because either you could go up or down. And I think that's with all of us in life. Like either we gonna sink or swim. This is what they say. Either we gonna sink or swim.
Yep.